Mrs. Squid ordered some blackout curtains the other day from Amazon in the hopes that maybe a dark bedroom will help convince Junior Squid to sleep somewhere past the crack of well before dawn. Now, whether that's the case or not, whether he will be compliant or not, that remains to be seen. But nevertheless, we have some curtains now that need to be put up. I have a spare piece of closet rod about 8 foot long that's going to work just fine for the curtain rod, but I need some brackets, the deals that go on either end that hold up the rod. Now we can do a couple of things here. We can take a quick trip down to the hardware store and spend the time and the fuel and I don't know, 10 or 12 bucks for a set of curtain rod brackets, or we could put it on the list for next time we go to town and just lump that in with the other stuff that we need to buy. Or I could take a little bit of time, use some scrap wood that I've got laying around, and just build some. It's only going to save me 10 bucks, 12 bucks maybe with tax, but who doesn't like to have stuff that's handmade? Most people pay extra for handmade. So, with all that said, we're going to build some curtain rod brackets. I've got these couple of old pieces of 1x, broken something or other, that I think are going to work just fine for this project. First thing I want to do is I want to make sure that my wood is as clear as possible. These knots are not going to be real helpful unless I can strategically place them, especially that knot. This guy right there, if I'm trying to drill through there, that guy's not going to be helpful at all. So I'm going to mark out where that knot is, just so that I make sure to not make sure to not use that as part of my bracket. So what I'm going for here is kind of a graceful shape. I'm going to make some marks here so that my shape that I draw out is symmetrical, for no real good reason except for symmetrical works very well with my brain. I guess I should say that my brain doesn't work worth a darn when symmetry is not present. I'm going to pre-drill this thing here so that I can put my hole all the way through it. This bit is not the best bit to use here, but it happens to be the only one that I have that's big enough, and it will drill wood, so we're going to use it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down until the biggest part of it is just below the surface, and then I'm going to flip this over and do it from the other side so that it doesn't tear out when the bit comes through the bottom. That is what that tear out would look like if I just pushed that bit all the way through to the bottom. And by doing it from both sides, I've avoided that tear out and I now have a nice smooth edge. It's not exactly necessary to center punch wood when you're drilling it, but since I have kind of a narrow margin here, I want to make sure that my holes just where I want them.